actually have, I think I have that one. No, not there. Yes, okay. So this is the prerequisites. So in our prerequisites, we require, version 3 is what we're currently using, and version 4 is what we're moving to. We've actually already posted that version on our website. But every home that would go through our program, all of these things would be required, such as a ventilation requirement. In other words, you have to bring fresh air into the home. You have to provide spot ventilation in the kitchens and the bathrooms so that moisture that's added to the air during those types of operations, showers or cooking, is actually removed from the home. If you have an attached garage, which you're not required to have an attached garage, if you do have one, however, you are required to seal it off from the rest of the house so that you don't have carbon monoxide coming into the home. And so that's we've actually had several people in North Carolina, even in the Triangle area, die from that specific thing by running their cars and leaving their door open to their house and the garage door down, and they then went inside and forgot. And anyway, we require a thing called a blower door and a duct blaster test that is actually tightening up the house. And this is actually something that a lot of these checklists, I'm just using Healthy Built Homes as an example, but the Energy Star requires a blower door test. We just have a slightly higher requirement than Energy Star does. And this basically says your house is tight. That's why we then have the fresh air requirement, because we don't want to make it tight and energy efficient, which is what a tight house does, and then not have fresh air, because then people won't do so well. So we're trying to work those two pieces together. We also require that all exterior openings are flashed, which I know sounds like, well, aren't they always? But no, as it turns out, this is not a requirement of the North Carolina Building Code. And so that means that water can easily penetrate into your walls. And it's a real issue in our climate. It's humid and sometimes it's wet as our climate can be. And we also require, now, this is the new one, that the builder actually sign a sheet for all the things they said they did, and then it's given to the homeowner, and the homeowner signs it, so they know that stuff is gone. And so if there's a question about the quality of the future, the homeowner knows who to go back to get it dealt with. So that's sort of just a thing of the checklist. But the other pieces of our checklist where you have choices, we have a comfort requirement, a comfort section which is focused on energy. We have a building envelope which is focused on the thermal issues of the house. We have a what we call appliances, lighting, and renewables, another energy efficiency. That's a little bit more extensive in the energy efficiency area than those other checklists. They usually only have one energy section, whereas Healthy Built Homes has 3. We also have a site requirement. We have water efficiency requirements. We have material resource efficiency requirements, as well as indoor air quality requirements. And that is very typical, all those sections, for every single checklist for every program that you might run into. So we have, these you can see the different counties that we operate in. Those little yellow dots are actually people that we're training. And one of them, actually out in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area, recently completed all their training and testing. And it's a full-fledged, what we call an independent inspector. And there's someone who could go out and act just as we do to get a project going. And they would then just register it through us so we could do quality assurance and control of their work. So we now have about 11 people in that program. So we're starting to get quite active, in particular in the Mecklenburg County area. This is just a snapshot of the fact that I always am sort of personally impressed by the fact that we're right there above Progress Energy on the Energy Star website. We haven't done as many houses as they've done, but considering that we're a staff of 3 and they're a really big company, we feel pretty proud of the fact that we've got that many houses under and through Energy Star compared to those guys. So this is sort of our status. Our dream, our goal is to have about 3,000 houses under construction or certified by the end of next year. You know, you got to have what they call a BHAG, a big, hairy something goal. Well, that's what we've got. Audacious, big, hairy, audacious goal, and that's what we've got. We have, though, currently about 319 homes that are under construction, and we have 300. We actually just certified another one today down in Pinehurst. So that's how quickly it's all going, and I have somebody doing a Leap for Homes project today as well. So this is really starting to take off, even from the green building standpoint. Even though I will say that Healthyville Homes has we have the most market percentage in the state of any green building program. Our market percentage is still at 0.5% of the whole market. That's why I said Energy Star is at 11%. Wow.
319 across the state?
That are under construction, that's correct.
Not just Wake County?
No. Oh, no. I'm not sure that there are 319 homes under construction in Wake County, but I might be wrong. It's a rough year for home construction, so we're actually quite proud of the fact we have that many under construction. Yes.
Do you have any other special things for locations that are by the beach or something like that?
Well, what we originally envisioned were community partners that were located in coastal areas, and that, because our community partners actually write items on the checklist that are special for their area. So, for example, there are special items on the checklist for the mountain areas. But unfortunately, we haven't found a group in the coastal area that that was able to be a community partner, because we do have sort of strict requirements, because we give them, I mean, we give them tons of basically time and effort. And so we want them to have some building experience and things like that. So we haven't found that group willing to commit. However, I will say that we are working with the College of Natural Resources at NC State University. They have a Southeast grant to actually work on hazardous construction. And they're actually working on a pilot checklist for us to put in our Healthyville Homes programs on hazardous construction, and it would be very focused on the coastal area. So we're very excited about that, because I think we'll be the first green building program in the state, or I mean in the U.S., to have that sort of an item in our checklist. We were also the first one nationally to have an accessibility checklist. And now it's been started adopting by other people. Yes, sir.
Is it possible to get an older home certified in your program?
We actually did one just a couple of weeks ago. The issue is it needs to be a gut rehab. So getting certified means that at least one side of your wall will have to come all the way down, so that you can do the whole Energy Star end of things. The issue is that Energy Star for homes has not issued something that works well yet for existing homes. They are working on it. And I actually worked on a national program with the National Association of Home Builders called the ANSI standard for green building. And I was the head of the remodeling task group that created a remodeling standard nationally. And I was glad that it got adopted, because it was a rough go. It's not perfect, so I'm hoping that we get to test that actually in the next year or so. We're trying to write some grants to test it. I think, yes.
What's involved for a builder to become enrolled in the program? Is there a testing process? Or?
Not for the builder.
Okay.
The builder has to basically show a desire, attend a workshop, pay his builder membership fee. But then, of course, for him to actually get certified, that's a different thing.
Sure.
And the independent inspectors do have a lot of requirements, and field testing and testing in the classroom, et cetera.
Would that also be true for most of the other programs? There's not a really onerous requirement to participate, just
No.
the testing?
Absolutely. Everybody's like, come to the table. If you'll come and you can do it,